songs, let me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc, where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
And so you can imagine trying to retool your entire life to create content in media and build a media company for an industry like Parks and Recreation. I'm humbled by this industry, made me question as to maybe my career path. I did actually work in Parks and Rec when I was a young man, and I love it. Sometimes I wish I could go back to that. And after interviewing 1,200 people this past year, I see how much joy that Parks and Rec brings to the lives of the people that work full-time in this industry. It's an honor to be able to serve y'all, to get the word out, and to help tell the stories of Parks and Recreation. All right, we are live. This is Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. I had a guest scheduled for today, but I think we might have got our communications crossed, but we're going to try to get him back on the show. We have, a lot of stuff. We have a lot of stuff to announce with this new 2026 coming up. I just finished going over the calendar, and man, we've got such a busy year. This is going to be the year that we attend the Parks and Rec conferences and stuff. So I'm going to go over all the ones that we will be attending that we've kind of set in stone. But before we do that, let me go ahead and press a little promo. Okay, so we now have a nice, strong stable of strategic partners that are vendors in the Parks and Rec community that love what we're doing, are very supportive, both financially and with their network and everything. And so one of our earliest sponsors was Outdoor Link. Now, Outdoor Link, for those of you that aren't familiar, everyone's heard of smart cities. Everyone's heard of Internet of Things. And what this means is all of your devices, all of your hardware devices are now interconnected. And when I say hardware devices, now they include any type of light switch, any type of switch at all that turns power on and off can now be put on a schedule. And that schedule can be put to your iPhone, your laptop, your desktop. And so now you have the ability to control your whole city from your cell phone. So imagine you're a Parks and Rec director with, say, 30 baseball fields, all with different schedules, all with different little leagues playing, and you're handing out keys and got padlocks at the beginning of the season. And the coaches can use the padlock to get into the big disconnect and turn the lights on. And so they come there for a practice on Sunday night, and then they leave them on. And you get a call. Many directors have had this story play out where they get a call on Sunday at midnight from a neighbor of that park saying, hey, they left the lights on, it's shining in my bedroom, can y'all come turn them off? And then you have to get out of bed and go turn those off. Well, no longer with Outdoor Link. They have a little app and a little device that they can put in front of that disconnect. And now you can be in vacation on the beach or wherever and just flip it off. Plus you can put it on a schedule so that maybe you never even have to turn it off. And you can give access to coaches or whoever else you need on your staff to be able to do that. And they have been one of our great sponsors from the beginning. And I have actually worked with them previously when I used to have a manufacturing company. I used them on several of my other projects, and I was an electrical engineer, so I would what do you call that? I would engineer that and I would spec it out. I would spec Outdoor Link out on the job so that they had that ability to be able to turn their lights. But it's not just lights. It's like bathroom doors. If you want to make sure that after a certain time your bathroom doors get locked with this big magnetic lock, or it can be water fountains, splash pads, whatever. Anything that needs power that needs to be turned off and on via a cell phone connection or something like that. And they have their own cell phone connection embedded in it. So anyway, can't say enough about Tasha and DJ and Dave and Joseph and Craig, the team over there. Great little Alabama company up in North Alabama. So shout out to them. Here's a little promo. If you want to learn more about what they do, we're actually launching a smart city show with them. And I actually have the launch date. Hold on. Our first one is going to be February 9th, and we're going to do a smart city show talking all about how smart cities, how Parks and Rec Department are becoming these smart cities and are just much more efficient with their time and their money and their labor, all that good stuff. But our first smart city show is going to launch on February 9th. And then every second and fourth Monday, we will have a discussion about smart cities. So without further ado, we're going to play a little promo for Outdoor Link. Thanks.
In today's parks and recreation industry, communication, safety, and efficiency go hand in hand. That's where Outdoor Link comes in, delivering smart technology that empowers city departments and community planners to do more, smarter. Outdoor Link's platform connects and automates everything that keeps your parks running smoothly, from lighting and locks to signage, water features, Wi-Fi, and digital advertising. Control and schedule park lights for safety and energy savings. Remotely manage facility access. Update digital displays in real time. Coordinate fountains and splash pads. Provide public connectivity. And even run community or sponsorship campaigns on digital screens. All from one simple, unified platform, giving you real-time control, data, and cost efficiency. For parks and recreation agencies, that means safer spaces, smarter resource use, faster responses, and stronger community engagement. And behind every great park story is great infrastructure. That's why Outdoor Link proudly supports DPRS Media Company, helping the daily Parks and Rec show amplify the voices of professionals shaping our communities every day. Outdoor Link, smart, connected solutions for parks, recreation, and beyond.
All right, so but my next promotion is going to be how, similar to Outdoor Link, National Academy of Athletics, Amilia, we have several others that we're talking to, should be signing on this year, picking a launch date. Oh, and how could I forget MWR with John Prue, the Military Rec Show. We'll talk about that later. But if you're interested in helping us to build the next great media company, all specifically and dedicated to parks and recreation, we created a little promo for how you can become a strategic partner. So if you're interested, hit me up on LinkedIn and we'll get the conversation going.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product, growing your presence in public spaces, targeting cities, counties, or departments, DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion parks and rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move parks and rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.
All right. So before we get started, I did want to say something that's near and dear to my heart. And I kind of debated on whether I was going to say something about it, but here it goes. And not trying to make this political or anything, but a close friend of mine, Gabriel, shout out to Gabriel Murillo. He is actually now part of our DPRS Media Network team. He is helping us to build out the software. I've built several businesses with him before. He was the one that got me into podcasting originally, and we've been close friends, me and his family, for I think going on 15 years. And his family had to flee from Venezuela because of all this craziness that's been going on. And it's very sad to watch him go through it. He finally got a citizenship here, and like I said, we've built several companies together. Have been close friends. He's so close to me. He's actually in my will, just like one of my children. And so love Gabriel. He's amazingly gifted and talented fellow entrepreneur, and I'm so excited to have him on the DPRS Media team. But why am I saying this? Because I know you hear all kind of stuff in the news media about what may or may not be going on in Venezuela, but I can tell you firsthand experience. Gabriel and his family are literally in tears and emotionally shaken about how excited they are that their country has now moving forward and been freed. And so I just felt like I wanted to, maybe just to represent Gabriel and his family. Prayers go out to them. I know it's an exciting time for them, and they are in full blown celebration and in tears about what happened when and I don't quite know all the details. I just know that their president or their dictator or whatever was taken by President Trump in the military, and they say that that's a very good thing, and it's been very emotional for them. So if you know anybody that's in Venezuela or from Venezuela, please reach out to them, offer your love and support. And we are definitely excited to have Gabriel Murillo on the team. I cannot think of a more gifted person that can help me build a media company. And he is actually helping to train. And so here's some of the announcements. So what did we do over the holidays? Love you, Gabriel. What did we do over the holidays? Well, we upgraded our software stack. Yes. We actually ran out of memory. I got the biggest memory package on StreamYard, which is the live streaming service that we use to pump out live content to X and YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. And the biggest package you can get is 400 hours of video record, 400 gigabytes. And we were this morning we were at 498. So I didn't know if I was going to be able to record this show. So been up since 2 a.m. Getting us Google Workspace, and now we have a full 5 terabytes of memory storage to store more videos. Shout out to Chris and Jovi and Kathleen. They're our design team, dedicated specifically to the Daily Parks and Rec, DPRS Media Network. And now coming up on our 400th episode, we now have a lot more. And we had these videos stored on StreamYard, on our own Google accounts, on little hardware devices. And so we finally got them all in one place where everybody has access to them, because we are just pumping out a ton of content. Not to mention the promos, the newsletters, the logos, all the shows coming. We've got up to 9 shows that we'll be doing this year probably by the end of February, that will all be launched. And then, of course, one of the first things Gabriel did was upgrade our content library to where we have this new tool where we can use much more AI, so that we can take each one of these 1-hour shows. It takes about 2.5 to 3 hours for our editing team to kind of edit it, build the thumbnails, the promos embedded within it, and to prepare it to go on our YouTube library. And then they edit it even further when they do our reruns at 6 and 9 p.m., 7 days a week. So this should take our time from maybe 2.5 to 3 hours to we're hopefully below an hour to be able to edit it. So it'll make our editing team 2 to 3 times more powerful, more efficient at creating great content for the Parks and Rec community of America. So thanks, Gabriel. Can't wait to see what we do together. This is going to be a great year. We are really positioned to really take off. This is going to be we said last year was the launch / building year. And this is going to be the year 2026 where we really keep the momentum going, and we have much more structured shows with different hosts and different topics and all the people that they'll bring on. So one of our shows that will be launched, that's actually already launched. So we had a soft launch. When was that? I think it was Tuesday, maybe second Tuesday of December. And this was, let me pop the logo up here real quick. Let's see. This is our latest show that's coming on, and it's called On the Front Line with host John Prue, who is an NRPA board member for quite some time, has been in the U.S. Navy working with MWR, For those who don't know, MWR is essentially the Parks and Rec of the military. And with over 300 military bases worldwide, the troops coming from very stressful environments, getting shot at, that kind of stuff in hostile territories. And they need a place to just unplug, unwind, kind of recollect themselves. And one of the best places that they can do this is on their Parks and Rec department of the military bases. And John has dedicated his life to this. And he is now helping us to co-create on the front line. And that's going to be every Tuesday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, starting tomorrow. So that's going to be our first official show. And he's got some amazing guests already lined up, some great topics. And it's more than just Parks and Rec on the military base, because these military bases act like independent cities where they have everything they need, totally enclosed inside of the military bases. And I think I've talked to several Parks and Rec directors and even some state park. Oh, what do you call them at the state park level? Shoot, I can't remember. Rangers, park rangers. And many of them had spent time in the military, and they're very familiar with everything that goes on military bases, Parks and Rec wise. And so I'm excited to produce that show with John. And so don't miss it. Every Tuesday from this point on, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow's going to be our first show, aside from our soft launch that we did earlier in December. So that's one of our announcements. We also have this one, which is the Athletes Commute podcast. This is with a very talented host, Jordan Ziff, a former female female soccer athlete. And of course, soccer is going to be a hot topic in 2026 since America is hosting 8 World Cup. I don't know what they call them, games or tournaments, or forgive me, all you soccer and football enthusiasts, for not being as well versed. I know it means a lot to y'all. We even did a whole show dedicated to this with Sevi Ghosh, one of our regulars, and it was all about the World Cup and how big of a deal this is. We actually had 2 guests on the show. It was, I think, Oklahoma City, or was it Missouri City? I think it's Missouri City, Oklahoma, and Houston, which are both host cities. So I'd love to get the other, I think there's 8 cities hosting the World Cup. And maybe we can do leading up to and throughout this year, more shows dedicated to the World Cup, since it's like a once in a 30, 40 year thing when a country gets to host the World Cup. So that's a big deal coming on. But anyway, so Jordan does a commute to practice or to a game one-on-one with professional female athletes. And they talk about what do they do to prepare for practice, to prepare for games. How do they get dressed? What do they do to kind of work out the jitters of, getting ready to have a big game? And what's it like to be a female pro athlete? And so great concept. Met with her and Lisa, probably late fourth quarter last year. And so we finally decided to go ahead and help them produce the Athletes Commute and podcast. So that's going to be coming out regular. And then I don't even have a logo for this next one. The next one is with Outdoor Link. We're going to create a smart park or smart city show where we talk about how cities are becoming smarter using technology, using Internet of Things to really be a lot more efficient with their manpower and their dollars, and stretch them even further to do the same service and increase the level of service that they have. And there's so many things that we can do shows on that are in the Parks and Rec ecosystem. But here are 3 that we'll be launching this year, are actually already launched, and you'll be seeing them more and more coming on the Daily Parks and Rec show. Okay, so let me go ahead and play a couple of the other promos. So the internship of our 2 interns is kind of winding down. And so we are now in the look for a couple more interns that would like to host the Young Professionals Network show, which is moved to Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern every Thursday. And so shout out to Michael Moreau and Aiden Tierney. They did amazing job. I can't get over how turnkey they were as far as understanding the technology, getting the guests on, managing the stage. They're super talented. And so if you're looking for someone that might be interested in working in your marketing department, you should probably reach out to Aiden Tierney or Michael Moreau and see if they would be interested in helping you to create content or manage your social media stuff. I know they're both graduating with degrees there, and they did a great internship with us. So let's go ahead and play a promo for that Thursday show that they have.
On the Daily Parks and Rec Show, we bring you the real stories of tomorrow's professionals, people shaping the future, one idea at a time. Meet the very first DPRS interns to officially host their own segment, Aiden Tierney and Michael Morrow. With curiosity, passion, and a fresh perspective, they're stepping into the spotlight to lead meaningful conversations with today's rising leaders. The Young Professionals Network takes you inside the journeys, challenges, and major wins of young individuals making their mark across industries. From first jobs to bold ventures, every story fuels growth, ambition, and innovation. Each episode brings real conversations, fresh perspectives, and impactful insights created to motivate the next generation of professionals. Whether you're just starting out, exploring new paths, or figuring out your next move. Tune in to the Young Professionals Network every Thursday at 5 p.m. only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Don't miss it, because your next big idea might be one story away.
All right, so shout out to Molly Keys and Gabby Vera for introducing me to the Young Professionals Network. Hold on, let me switch this logo back. They actually, I had never heard of the Young Professionals Network, which is a program started by NRPA to connect young professionals as they came in and give them a little network and mentors and bring on speakers. And so Molly did a great job last year. She handed the torch to the incoming chair, Eric Henschel, over in Wellington, Colorado. He is now the chair, captain of the ship. Great job, Gabby. Awesome year for you. I think she is the outgoing chair, so she'll be somewhat still involved. But Eric is now running the show over there, and he's got a very talented team of young professionals. And one of the goals we're trying to do, I think they have 100 or 200 young professionals across America as part of the YPN network. YPN is free. So if you have a membership at NRPA, then you can join YPN for free. And they basically meet once a month, and they bring on guest speakers. And then they have like a meeting at the annual conference that NRPA hosts. So it's about a 12, 13 hour commitment if you're just attending the shows. And so I recommend that if you are a young professional just new to Parks and Recreation, that you join YPN. It's free if you're already an NRPA member, and definitely worth checking out. Now, with only 100 and 200 members, me and Eric were talking, let's see if we can, in 2026, get that to 1,000 members. I don't think that's a large stretch, as large as this community is, 350,000 people that work full-time for Parks and Rec. 1,000 of them is just a drop in the bucket. So that's going to be our goal, is to help get them to 1,000 registered members for the Young Professionals Network. And then we're also having a lot of state or local chapters of YPN opening up. And so we're going to get some of those chairs that are opening up YPN chapters within their own state. A lot of those are starting to turn on and be on their second and third year. I think YPN is maybe got to be coming up on their 10th year. So that's our Thursday show, all dedicated to the Young Professionals Network. And then I saved the best for last. And this is the National Academy of Athletics. Shout out to my original co-host, Aaron Locks. He has been faithfully and dedicated to doing a Thursday show at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, every single show, all about youth sports, bringing on some of the greatest minds and some of the greatest wisdom in youth sports across America. I don't think I know anybody that's more connected in the youth sports world than Aaron Locks from coast to coast. And the people he gets on are just amazing. He actually introduced me to Jordan Ziff, who now we're creating another show with that I had mentioned before, the Athletes Commute podcast. And so let me go ahead and play a little promotion for the National Academy of Athletics. And then right after that, I'll play one just for the Youth Sports Mastery show. So we'll hit that and we'll come right back.
They say it's Just Rec. Just Rec, where kids learn to try again. Just Rec, where confidence begins. Where teamwork, effort, and fun matter more than trophies. It's not about perfection. It's about participation. It's not just rec. It's where kids learn to love the game and themselves. It's just rec until they learn teamwork for life. It's just rec, but it's everything to them. It's more than rec. It's a movement. It's just rec until you realize it's shaping the next generation. Together, we're not just running programs. We're building a culture of confidence, connection, and community. Join us.
Welcome to
Whoa, hold on.
At DPRS Media Co., we don't just create content, we elevate community through storytelling. Now, we're proud to introduce the newest addition to the family. Welcome to Youth Sports Mastery, the podcast where champions are shaped, not just on the field, but in life. Hosted by National Academy of Athletics founder Aaron Locks. Youth Sports Mastery dives deep into how youth sports can empower kids, strengthen communities, and build leaders. From coaching culture to recreation strategy, and from player development to parent impact, every episode brings game-ready insight from the people making it happen. Youth Sports Mastery goes live every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics. And powered by DPRS Media Co. This is where purpose meets play.
All right. Couldn't have made that show without Aaron Locks. He is just the man, the myth, the legend over in California. That's kind of like me, probably more than me and David travels. It seems like he's always on the road talking about youth sports. So if you ever get a chance to work with him, definitely consider having him be a part of your Parks and Rec department programming that he puts on. They will run your after school care, any kind of youth sports that you're not maybe equipped to do. So let's say you want to launch a flag football or volleyball. Let's say you've got basketball and baseball squared away, everything's set up, just perfect. But there's a lot of people that maybe want to do pickleball or want to do volleyball or flag football. He can come in and you can just kind of cherry pick the ones you want him to run, or he'll do everything turnkey. Really great company to work with. And every Parks and Rec department that uses him just has raving reviews. So can't say enough about Aaron. Okay, so let's get into the Parks and Rec state associations that the Daily Parks and Rec Show, DPRS Media Company, will be attending. So we kind of have a little conflict. It looks like the next one coming up is going to be the Southwest Parks and Recreation Training Institute. That's February 1st through the 4th. And they work a lot with the facilities maintenance crews. It's actually quite an old, I think they just celebrated their 80th anniversary a couple of years ago. So I actually got exposed to them by Breck Park. That's a big park system over in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They invited me to go, and I've gone several times since then. So if you ever get a chance to go to that, it's not a very big one. I think it's under 500 people that attend, but it's a lot more personal. It's at a beautiful state park that they have over in Oklahoma. And we will be attending that one. If that happens to fall through, then we will default to Alabama, which was my first ever Parks and Rec state association that I ever attended. They do an amazing job. I think theirs is in Orange Beach this year, 1st through the 3rd of February. Followed the next week in February by TRAPS, Texas Recreation and Parks Society. We will be attending that one. Then we have a little break till March. We will be going to the Mississippi Parks and Rec Association over in Biloxi, March 2nd through the 4th. And then the big one out in California, this is a special one because we are actually going to be co-branding with CRPS, and I will be speaking there. So you see how we created a podcast for Parks and Rec nationally. Some of the states are creating podcasts and media companies just for the state, and California is one of those few states that's doing it. And so we've been in conversation with them for several months now. We finally got it squared away and nailed down to where we are going to attend the California Recreation and Park Society March 10th through the 13th. And we will also be attending that with National Academy of Athletics. So they will be sponsoring us coming there, and we will be co-hosting with the California Rec and Park Society. So that's going to be, as I said, March 10th through the 13th. Then our next one we will be attending, looks like it's going to be in Washington. And then, of course, we're going to Georgia. I don't know the exact dates on that one just yet. And then it looks like we'll be attending, of course, we're going to be attending NRPA September 29th through October 1st. Get registered, get your tickets, get your early bird registration going. And then, of course, Louisiana, my home state, will be attending those. So we have a few others that we're attending. I just haven't built out the calendar all the way through that. But if you happen to be attending those, we will be reaching out to attendees to come onto the show for 15 minutes like we did in Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi this last year. I know there are some others that I'm leaving out. But anyway, that's kind of where we have so far. I worked on the schedule all day this morning, sat on the phone with David Ramirez, who's the lead guy over Outdoor Link. So it was just top of mind, and I thought that was something I could share with y'all. Okay. So again, just wanted to thank everybody for a great 2025. That was our launch year. I wasn't even sure if this was going to be something that would stick, but with the overwhelming support that I've gotten from the Parks and Rec community, we are definitely going to keep this going because it seems like Parks and Rec community wants it. And they love the content that we're producing, and the shows are just really starting to mature, and our team's starting to mature. So it's been a great 2025. And this is our 391st show. So 9 shows away from our 400th episode in a little over a year, I think, within January. So January to January, we'll hit 400 shows. It's an amazing accomplishment for the team. Couldn't have done it without everyone's help. Shout out to Sherry, who's been helping me, our newest team member, Eunice, who's helping Sherry out book people for the show. Shout out to Gabriel Murillo, who I mentioned early in the show, very talented entrepreneur that's helping me to create this media company. So we really are expanding our team, expanding our bench, expanding our shows, expanding our show hosts, expanding our hardware and software stack. I can't believe it's only been a year since we started this, but definitely couldn't have done it without y'all. And I guess at this point, I will play, why is this important? Why is Parks and Rec considered essential service? I'll play our most popular video. Now, we made this as a gift to the Parks and Rec community about why Parks and Rec is an essential service. And I've watched as tears kind of well up in Parks and Rec directors and just people in Parks and Rec that watched this video, and they said, you hit it. You hit every point as to why this is important. And actually, I didn't hit it. It was Chris, one of our very talented video editors. So shout out to Chris. He's probably sleeping because he's over in the Philippines, but I think Jovi's watching, who's also one of our very talented video editors. So I'll play this for y'all. Again, this is a gift. And when I say a gift, there's no copyrights. It's on our YouTube channel. My dream would be that this is played in front of every elected official so that they can see why Parks and Rec should absolutely be funded and considered an essential service. So we'll play this, and then we'll come right back for another video that we made for y'all.
When we talk about essential services, what comes to mind? Police, firefighters, healthcare. But there's another essential service, often overlooked, yet always present. Parks and recreation. Parks and Rec is health. It's the walking trail that lowers blood pressure, the recreation center where seniors fight isolation, the swim lessons that prevent tragedy before it happens. This isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. Parks and Rec is safety. A playground instead of a street corner, a basketball court instead of trouble, a summer camp where every child belongs. It's not just about activity, it's about protection, prevention, and possibility. Parks and Rec is community, the festival that brings neighbors together, the cultural event that teaches respect and diversity, the open space where a city breathes. It builds bridges where division once stood. It gives people a reason to gather, to connect, to care. And Parks and Rec is economics. It strengthens property values. It drives tourism through events and trails. It saves on healthcare costs. Every dollar invested multiplies, feeding back into schools, into safety, into growth. Essential service is not just about survival, it's about thriving. And Parks and Recreation is where thriving begins. In wellness, in equity, in culture, and in joy. Parks and Rec isn't extra, it's essential. For our health, for our safety, for our communities, for our future. A message from the Parks and Recreation community.
Man, no matter how many times I watch that video, it just gets me fired up about Parks and Recreation. Great job, Chris, on that one. All right, so the next one we made is for why Parks and Rec should be considered as a career path. So if you're a college student, maybe finding yourself in a major that you thought you wanted to be in, but now you're having second thoughts and you're looking for a major in an industry that's going to be thriving in the coming years, I think there's no better industry than Parks and Rec, where you can make a difference on day one, leave a legacy, and start building your community from the first day that you start working. So shout out to Liddy Gutfeld, who played this in front of over 100 Parks and Rec part-time employees. You know, when you have that orientation where you've got all these high school kids that are going to be camp counselors or lifeguards, please take this video and play this in front of them. And then after you finish playing it, stand up and give your testimony, your why, as to why you've dedicated your life to Parks and Recreation, and just kind of start the conversation there and plant seeds for our future leaders that may be in college right now, not really knowing about Parks and Recreation. I would say after the 1,200 one-hour conversations I had last year, at least half of the Parks and Rec professionals never really considered Parks and Recreation as a career path, and it just kind of found them. And so imagine how many more never really get to hear about Parks and Recreation and would have chosen it had they just known more about it and maybe heard your testimony, especially with so many. If there are 350,000 full-timers across America, there's at least over 1 million part-timers that do part-time work for Parks and Recreation and are lifeguards in your Parks and Rec department, and never really thought about Parks and Rec as a career path. So play this video for them, stand up and give your testimony, and help us plant the seeds for the next great leaders of Parks and Rec. We'll go ahead and play this video. And again, this is on our YouTube channel, not copyrighted. Play it, use it. Let's go.
Every career is a choice, but few careers let you touch lives. Not once in a while, but every single day. Step into a park on a Saturday morning. You'll hear children laughing on the soccer field, families gathering for a picnic, seniors walking the trails, finding health and friendship. And behind every smile, every memory is a Parks and Rec professional. We don't just mow fields, we grow confidence in young athletes. We don't just build playgrounds, we create safe spaces where childhood thrives. We don't just plan events, we design moments that anchor generations. Think of the coach who teaches patience, the director who champions equity, the staff member who sees potential in a child no one else believed in. Every day, Parks and Rec professionals shape character, preserve beauty, and strengthen community. And the path isn't easy. Budgets are tight, resources stretched thin, but the reward, unmatched. Because what you give comes back in legacy, in healthier communities, in lives forever changed. So why dedicate your life to Parks and Recreation? Because here, your work never ends. It lives on, in laughter echoing across playgrounds, in green spaces preserved for the next century, in the young professionals rising to lead tomorrow. This is not just a career, it's a calling, it's a legacy, it's Parks and Recreation. A message from the Parks and Rec community.
All right. So step one is volunteer. So if you are a young college student, high school student, just reach out to your local Parks and Rec department and ask where you can volunteer to maybe for a special event or maybe to do an internship there. And that's how you can take kind of your first steps. I did want to give a big shout out to two software companies that are kind of signed on the dotted line. Amilia and Productive Parks are both companies that created software specifically for Parks and Recreation. We will be creating a software in Parks and Rec show within the first quarter of this year. I don't have an exact launch date on that, but I believe it's going to be, let's see, when did we decide? I think it's going to be a Wednesday show, like a monthly show similar to the Rec Room. Hold on. I do need to talk about the Rec Room, but let me go ahead and finish here. So we will be attending the Illinois convention with Amilia, and then Productive Parks. They've been an early sponsor of the show as well. So shout out to both of them. If you'd like to learn more about either Amilia or Productive Parks, hit me up on LinkedIn. I can connect you to the right people. But let me, one of our greatest shows is called The Rec Room. Shout out to everybody at Henry County, Georgia. They have been huge supporters. They're one of the best park systems. And actually they claim they are the best park system in America. And I challenge everyone to try to unseat them. They set the bar so high and they do such a great job. Shout out to JP and Thomas. And gosh, I know I'm forgetting everybody else's name, putting myself on the spot here. But every second Wednesday, we produce a monthly show with Henry County, Georgia called The Rec Room, where they pull back the curtain and go into each different part of the Parks and Rec department, whether we're talking about youth sports. We did one with them on esports. We did one with them on facilities maintenance. We've done some great content with them, and we're going to continue to do that. Another 12 great shows in 2026 with them. So love you guys over at Henry County, Georgia. Thank y'all so much for supporting the show. All right, so this will probably be the last time I'm able to play our 300th episode. Thank you, because we're coming up on our 400th episode. So this was a big thank you that we made when we finally crossed our 300th episode, which is a big milestone for us and any media company that can produce 300 episodes within like 8-9 months, something like that. And so we are coming up on our 400th episode, but this was a thank you that Chris made for us, thanking everyone for getting us this far. And so I want to play that as we're coming towards the end of the show.
"300 episodes. What started as a small idea, a way to share stories from the Parks and Recreation community, has grown into something truly special. From heartfelt conversations to behind-the-scenes stories that celebrate everyday heroes. Every episode, every message, every listen has been powered by you. To our loyal listeners, our partners, and every Parks and Rec professional who continues to inspire us, thank you. You've helped us grow, you've helped us evolve, and you've reminded us why we do this. tell stories that matter. This milestone isn't just ours, it's yours too. As we celebrate our 300th episode, we look ahead to the next chapter. More stories, more community, more impact. From all of us here at DPRS Media Company, thank you for believing in us, for tuning in, and for helping us make it this far. Here's to the next 300 episodes and beyond.
All right. So thank you all so much for help getting us this far. We will be producing another thank you for our 400th episode. We'll also be mentioning stuff about 2026 and what's going on, what we're building. So that's all I have for y'all today. Just wanted to kind of give y'all an update of everything that's happening behind the scenes. Crazy the amount of momentum that we've got going into 2026. And this is really giving me, this is kind of a new entrepreneurial journey for me. And I wasn't sure that, for those of you that know me, I'm an electrical engineer, master electrician by trade. And so you can imagine trying to retool your entire life to create content in media and build a media company for an industry like Parks and Recreation. I'm humbled by this industry, made me question as to maybe my career path. I did actually work in Parks and Rec when I was a young man in the facilities maintenance side. I was cutting grass as a summer job, and it was the only job I ever had. And I love it. Sometimes I wish I could go back to that. And after interviewing 1,200 people this past year, I see how much joy that Parks and Rec brings to the lives of the people that work full time in this industry. And it's an honor to be able to serve y'all, to get the word out, and to help tell the stories of Parks and Recreation. So that's all I have for y'all today. This is Craig LeBlanc, the doorman, on the flagship show, Leaders in Parks and Recreation. This is a Monday through Thursday show, 12 noon Eastern. We have another scheduled show tomorrow, and then tomorrow our first launch of the Military Rec Room. Don't miss it, 1:30 p.m. every Tuesday. Love you guys. Thank you all so much for the support. We'll see y'all here again tomorrow.
Welcome to DPRS Media Co., the first media company built for the people behind the Parks and Rec community. We don't just cover on Parks and Rec, we elevate it, we amplify it, we honor it. At the heart of everything we do is one mission: to serve the public servants, the professionals who design, maintain, and lead the parks that shape our communities. Under the daily Parks and Rec show, we produce 6 powerful platforms. Leadership in Parks and Rec, a spotlight on directors, superintendents, and visionaries shaping the future of public spaces. Facility maintenance, where the boots hit the ground, a deep dive into the systems, crews, and craftsmanship that keep our parks clean, safe, and beautiful. Young Professionals Network, shining a light on the next generation of Parks and Rec. Students, interns, and mentors sharing how we build a legacy together. Youth Sports Mastery, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics. This series is for coaches, parents, and rec leaders working to make youth sports fun, fair, and meaningful again. The Rec Room, hosted by the passionate leaders of Henry County Parks and Rec. This show brings frontline energy and real-life stories from the field. And the weekly Parks and Rec Post, our official newsletter delivering stories, insights, and community wins every week. We are DPRS Media Co., LLC, a media company with a mission to uplift the professionals who serve every community, every park, every day.